Mandatory evacuation orders are still in effect this morning for folks in northern Colorado because of the 37E fire that sparked north of Lyons yesterday afternoon. That's Saturday morning. Thank you so much for watching Denver 7 News. I'm Jessica Crawford.
And I'm Katie LaSalle. We appreciate you being here. Now, there is some encouraging news this hour. The Larimer Sheriff's Office is now saying the fire is 30% contained. Denver 7's Christian Lopez is live for us in Lyons with the latest on the fire. Christian.
We aren't really seeing or smelling much smoke from where we're standing right now. We're next to Highway 36 and Blue Mountain Road. And here behind us, there is a sheriff who is blocking off this road to residents only. We talked to one man who drove up from Boulder to help his son evacuate yesterday, and he said he had to relive what he went through recently with the Marshall Fire and the Incar Fire. And not only are people worried about this fire that's currently threatening nearby homes, but the fact that these fires are happening a lot more frequently.
I don't remember any series of time like this. I mean, there have been fires in the past, but not repeatedly like this, and who knows how they're starting.
And right now there are over 100 firefighters from several different agencies working together to try to get this fire out, and we will continue to monitor it and bring you the very latest. Reporting in Lyons, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
Christian, thank you. And Katie, these firefighters really could be up against a lot with these red flag warnings that are in place.
Yes, especially later on tonight where we'll see the winds kick up, but a little bit of good news this morning. More humidity in the air. There's more moisture in the atmosphere, and winds right now are relatively calm. You can see, though, some hazy conditions over portions of the Front Range, especially where that fire is burning. A live look from Westminster looking off to the west. Areas of smoke and haze have prompted an air quality warning this morning, set to expire here in the next little bit, and we are fortunately going to be picking up some moisture in spots over northern Colorado as we get through this afternoon, and already seeing some light snow shower activity move in up near Estes Park into Rocky Mountain National Park over higher terrain. Right now, winds relatively calm, wind gusts only around 5 to 10 miles per hour over the Front Range. Down south later on near Alamosa, mainly after about 3 p.m. the winds will kick up. Could be seeing wind gusts reach about 40 to 50 miles per hour with lowest relative humidity down south. Highs today, high 50s to low 60s over the Denver area up through Fort Collins and Greeley, and into the mountains. A pretty mild day with dry conditions south of I-70. We'll talk more about our next chance for seeing more rain here in Denver and the big warm up on the way for next week coming up.
From the 37E fire burning in Larimer and Boulder counties to the Incar Fire 3 weeks ago in Boulder, it's been a very active month for wildfires here in Colorado. In Boulder, mitigation efforts helped slow the Incar Fire spread, keeping it from reaching any homes or businesses. Those efforts include livestock grazing and forest thinning, leaving shorter grass and fewer trees to fuel the flames.
The fact that there was less fuel on the ground and it burned less intensely gave us an opportunity to kind of jump on the fire quicker and hopefully, have a direct impact on the size and the extent of the fire.
Boulder plans to expand its grazing and tree thinning program so it has more treated areas.
And Boulder County is launching a new website to help people who lost their homes in the Marshall Fire. The county says the Rebuilding Better website has easy to follow guidance on finding a design and construction team, choosing materials and equipment, and implementing wildfire resistant landscaping.
The conditions for which when the Chinatown existed were not ideal. It was very xenophobic, and the city itself and the structures that were in place didn't really support having an immigrant community.
Before it was home to the Rockies, Denver's Lodo neighborhood was a bustling Chinatown. That all changed with a deadly race riot. Today, Denver is making a formal apology and will do more to recognize the huge contributions of those early Chinese residents to our city.
And Denver is the fifth city in the United States to issue a formal apology to the Chinese community for its role in an anti-Chinese riot that happened back in 1880. And it is the first city outside of California to do this. The anti-Chinese riot that happened on Wazee Street between 15th and 17th, right in an alley where Chinatown once was, and it happened on October 31st of 1880. City officials acknowledged that after the riot, the city didn't step up to protect Chinese residents and didn't listen to pleas for protection. They say before the riot, the city did play a role in discrimination, even pushing communities of color into segregated areas. But now they say they want to make things right, and that starts by publicly apologizing.
By acknowledging this, it helps our community take those steps that are necessary to become whole and to genuinely become a community that is welcoming and is constructive and is a community that is willing to work together to make sure that every individual, every community is a part of a whole community.
And the formal apology is happening this afternoon with city leaders at CU Denver. It has been a busy week of major religious holidays, and the war in Ukraine is top of mind for so many during this time. At the Ukrainian Catholic Church in North Denver, several parishioners have strong ties to Ukraine, some born there, while others still have family in the country. The church has been raising money to support Ukrainian forces and others hurting amid Russia's invasion. And on this Good Friday, parishioners told Denver 7, like Jesus rose from the dead, they believe Ukraine will rise again too.
Even though we're sad on the Good Friday, we're always hopeful because on Sunday is resurrection and Christ rose from the dead, and it's the happiest day of the year. So we're hoping that Ukraine will rise also from all this horror.
The church continues to raise money to help people in Ukraine, and if you'd like to donate, you can visit their website, transfigurationdenver.org.
Colorado's Jewish community also has Ukraine in their hearts as they observe Passover. The Chabad of Northwest Metro Denver in Westminster served matzah that was handmade in Ukraine at their Passover Seder. This is a tradition they've had for years, as the bakery where the bread is made is a world-famous supplier of matzah. Of course, with the situation in Europe, this year the meaning is different.
The owner of the matzah bakery in Ukraine is a good friend of mine, a colleague of mine from many, many years. And I'm just awed by his tenacity, his strength, his courage to remain in Ukraine, the city of Dnipro, continue baking matzah for the communities around Ukraine, as none of his matzah can actually leave.
They said they were able to have the matzah this year because they got their shipment in December. That was before Russia's invasion. Easter is tomorrow and sunrise services are back across the metro.
And this is the first time in years that many of these services will be held in person instead of virtually. And this is the 75th year for the service at Red Rocks, which has been hosted since Red Rocks opened back in 1947.
The executive director of the Council of Churches says now that they're back to in-person services, they want everyone to know that they're welcome.
The Easter sunrise service at Red Rocks is free to everyone and open to everyone. So it's y'all come kind of thing, and we mean that in every sense. And, just the thing is, got to get up early because parking and seating is first come, first served.
And that service starts at 5:30 tomorrow morning. You can also watch it online. The Royal Gorge service, that will start at 6:30, just minutes after sunrise. The gates there open at 5:30. You can walk across the bridge or take a free shuttle. Then Idra Haji off Highway 285 in Bailey will host a sunrise service at 6:15 at its Mountain Village Outdoor Chapel. And since there is a little hike, you will have to do so from the parking area. It is a good idea to get there by at least 6 o'clock. Rides are also available to those who need it.
And here's a live look at St. Peter's Basilica Cathedral at the Vatican. Pope Francis is going to give his Holy Saturday Easter Vigil in person tonight. That's set to start around 1:30 our time if you'd like to watch or participate.
And along with Passover and Easter, Colorado's Muslim community is observing Ramadan. Ramadan is the 9th month on the Islamic calendar and commemorates Muhammad's first revelation. It's a time for Muslims to fast from sunrise to sunset as a sign of solidarity with the impoverished and to focus on spirituality and giving. The downtown Denver Islamic Center, they hold a dinner every night after sunset when it is time to break their fast. And in Colorado, there are about 100,000 Muslims.
Jersey Boys is back in town, but not for much longer. We're catching up with part of the cast ahead of their final curtain call at the Denver Center this weekend.
And if you're itching to get outside, this weekend is the time how you can get into Rocky Mountain National Park for free.